Hi, this is Darren, Smartsheet Guru. There's a question in the Smartsheet community asking how to create a sub-checklist in Smartsheet. I've made this checklist tracker and creation, so probably a lot simpler than the community member was asking for, but this is a proof of concept that will show how this works. So you can see here, I've got a few checklists here, identified with, say, an address. I have a checklist ID, and some of these I've already created a checklist. So when the checklist is created, it puts a link there. And if we click on that, it takes us over to the checklist. And we can go ahead and as you complete different items, check them off. You can put the date in there. In the case is, let's say we do all the roofing. So we save that. Once that's saved, let's go back to this checklist tracker. Go ahead, we'll refresh it. Get that latest completion percentage in there. And there you go. Now it's at 9%. So likewise, I've created this checklist and have not completed any items, so it is at 0%. And now this checklist has not been created. So I'll go ahead and choose create. I hit save. And after a little bit, the automation will run in the background and actually create a checklist in here, and we'll have a link. Now, how did I do this? I use the WeGRID platform, which you can find out more about if you send a message at smartsheetguru.com/contact. And I created an action. This is how it's all set up. We choose a template folder, essentially, and a template sheet. We choose a summary sheet, which I did not show, but there's a summary sheet. This summary sheet is taking data from each of these checklists and then allowing me to reference that data easily back in the creation. And then we have our template, and we choose what item from the template that we're going to create, which is checklist items. And then there's a lot more settings we can go through. I'm not going to go through all of them here. We are going to just go ahead and wait for this tracker to create it. Okay, and so we see that some of these items are already starting to come in. Refresh this, let's see. There we go. WeGRID has indicated the checklist has been created. It's created a link. And after, let's see, one more refresh, this cell link will update. And we will see that change to 0%, which makes sense because we have not completed anything. So if we go ahead and click on this checklist, there are 100 items in this list. So by choosing to click off one and saving it, that'll be 1%. Now, we also have, as part of this little checklist package that got created, we have a dashboard. Not a whole lot on this dashboard other than this report that groups categories of inspection items. And of course, you can click on it and interact with it here. And we have this metadata sheet, and the metadata sheet takes in the checklist ID, which is linked from that checklist tracker creation sheet. The percentage is calculated based on the checklist items sheet, and then is linked over to the summary sheet. And this checklist link is also linked in from the checklist tracker and is also sent over to that summary sheet, just so we have it available on that summary sheet. And there is the result there. And then back on our tracker, this completion percentage is looking at that summary sheet and pulling in the percentage for this checklist ID. So hopefully this is a good little demo. It could be a lot more complex. We could have multiple checklists here if we wanted to. Let's say we had different checklists for this particular row. We could have multiples of these and do the same method. So If you want to learn more about the WeGRID Project Creator, go ahead and send me a message at smartsheetguru.com/contact. Thanks for watching.